we are back live now here on the show floor at NAB 2019. And if you've been in the video business for any amount of time at all, you probably have heard of B&H Photo Video. They are without a doubt the most famous retailer and wholesaler of video production camera equipment, both over the internet and of course from their store in New York, in Chelsea in New York. I'm here with Alan Lugo from B&H, who's worked there for what, 11 years?
Yeah, 11 years.
Tell me a bit about what it's like to work for such a retail establishment.
Well, I've been around the block as far as jobs are concerned. I used to work in the broadcast realm. I used to do some work at TBS and CNN as well. I came to New York City and I got a job at B&H, kind of just promoting the gear that I was just so used to using. And I've been there 11 years for a great reason. B&H is one of the employers I've ever experienced. And considering I am around all of the most beautiful tech in the world, it's really hard for me to kind of imagine why my paychecks just go back to the company, because I'm just buying so much all the time. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful place to shop as well.
I know that most people in my level in corporate video production, folks that don't work for a large network or what have you, there's really two places we often look whenever it comes to any video equipment. One of them is, of course, Amazon.com,
Yes.
and the other is B&H. And quite often, you guys generally have very similar prices, but whenever we've had problems, returning stuff or anything, B&H has always been wonderful. They have knowledgeable staff, which is one thing you can't say for Amazon. How do you fight with a behemoth like Amazon like that? What's the strategy?
The number one thing is to put the customer number one. So as far as an organization like B&H, we value customer satisfaction 100%. So that being said, if you're looking for broadcast equipment or just technology in general that's a bit more complicated than you're used to, if you call B&H, the person on the other line is going to be an actual shooter or a person that's involved in that field in some way. So you're getting the best advice, and they're not commission-based, so they have no reason to steer you down a different path. They just get you what you need to get.
Fantastic, and of course that one big difference between Amazon and B&H is if you're up in New England or New York or that area, you can actually just drive right down. First time I was in the B&H store, I was amazed at not only the products you sell, but they're all out and you can touch them and get your hands on them. Is that part of the strategy you do?
That is a great strategy to have. I mean, when you come to New York, a lot of people, they drop their bags off at the hotel and they go straight to B&H for that great hands-on experience.
Quite frankly, it's a bit of a pilgrimage. It's like every time we go to New York, it's like, let's do a pilgrimage to B&H and see what's new there and get our hands on some of that new equipment.
Yeah, absolutely right. We have tour buses come through all the time, especially in the summertime. It is super popular. So definitely would recommend getting there in the morning just to make sure you have some browsing time without the crowds getting too crazy. That's okay. We will help you any capacity we can.
Now, those of you who haven't been to B&H may not have heard of the incredible conveyor belt system that you guys have there, which is kind of different from any other retail store that I've ever seen. How did that come about?
So there is a really great man, his name is Gary. He works at B&H. He designed that conveyor belt system from scratch. He's a great engineer, but one of the reasons why we have that conveyor belt system, as you're shopping, you don't actually physically have to carry anything with you. Essentially, we tally up everything and you pick up everything at the end, so you can browse freely without having to schlep anything heavy.
So you guys you have video equipment, you have photography equipment. What else do people find at B&H?
Sure. We have microscopes, we have telescopes, we have audio gathering equipment, we have basic digital cameras, we have paper, we have printing, we have gaming now. We have essentially anything in the tech field, we got it.
Fantastic. And here at NAB, you guys are a fairly large presence. You bring a lot down. What's the thinking behind that?
Well, the idea is to kind of bring the store to you at this point, so we have a little bit of everything that you can get at the store, minus telescopes. Of course, it's all show specific, so in this case we have audio and camera and things like that. But if you go to a photo show, all the best photo equipment in the world is there in one place.
That's fantastic. So people can go on the website. If they need questions answered, they can call. They're actually going to speak to an actual shooter, someone who's knowledgeable about that. They buy stuff, and then if they have problems with it, you guys are very easy to deal with on the back end.
Absolutely great return policy. Usually when it comes down to most things, unless it's a special order item, we give you about 30 days, and every once in a while for longer B&H holidays, we extend that for a couple of months.
I know we've bought a lot of stuff through you, and we buy it from various different kinds of sources, but B&H is always one place where we go for reviews and testimonials on products and to see what's going there. Alan Lugo, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And that's all the time we have here, but we'll be back with another interview in just a few minutes, so please join us then, right here on Live Now.